Young workers are entering an economy where the pressure to simply outpace inflation and economic decay is constant. Take Jordan. He is a 20-year-old employee at the local YMCA with a simple, practical goal: set aside $50 a week to eventually build financial security for his future family. The standard advice he will hear is to direct that cash into a traditional retirement account, like a 401k. However, doing so locks his money behind a rigid barrier. If he needs to access those funds before age 59 and a half, the federal government levies a 10% early withdrawal penalty. There is a secondary, immediate risk. A traditional portfolio is fully exposed to market volatility. In moments of severe economic downturn, decades of disciplined savings can vanish in a matter of days.
Traditional retirement accounts penalize young workers for tapping into their own money during unexpected emergencies, all while leaving their life savings entirely vulnerable to market crashes they cannot control. That vulnerability scales up when evaluating the national economy. The United States currently holds over $33 trillion in national debt. Despite this staggering deficit, current tax rates are historically low when compared to previous eras of severe economic recovery, such as the Great Depression. To service $33 trillion in debt, the government has only two practical levers: cut spending or raise revenue. By the time a 20-year-old like Jordan reaches retirement in 40 years, the mathematical probability of higher income taxes is nearly certain. Deferring taxes today through a standard 401k means Jordan is agreeing to pay an unknown, likely much higher tax rate at the exact moment he finally stops working and needs his money the most. There is an alternative structure built around IRS Code 7702. IRS Code 7702 is a federal tax provision that legally defines what qualifies as a life insurance contract, allowing specific cash value policies to operate outside the boundaries of traditional investment accounts. This alters the sequence of taxation. Instead of deferring taxes on a massive final harvest, the investor pays tax upfront on the tiny initial seed. Because the tax is settled today, every compounding dollar moving forward is legally shielded from future income taxes. It also removes the lock on his capital. Unlike a 401k, the cash accumulated inside this policy can be accessed well before age 59 and a half, completely free of federal early withdrawal penalties. This early liquidity functions as a defensive buffer. If an emergency arises, Jordan can draw from his own policy instead of swiping a credit card, keeping him out of high-interest consumer debt. This chart shows indexed growth, where returns mirror a stock index rather than direct ownership. The policy captures upward market swings, but caps maximum gains at a ceiling, typically 12 to 14%. That cap funds a critical safety net. If the market drops 40%, the account loses nothing. The policy locks at a rigid 0% floor. When the market recovers, compounding interest resumes climbing from that protected baseline. This architecture mathematically eliminates market loss. The capital can plateau during bad years, but it never slides backward down the mountain. This diagram displays the culmination of those mechanics over a 45-year timeline. By consistently saving $50 a week, Jordan will have contributed exactly $108,000 out of pocket by the time he reaches age 65. At age 65, that zero-risk compound growth transitions into distribution. The policy generates a rigid five-figure annual payout of $51,971 every single year until he turns 90. Because the entire structure is housed within that 7702 tax shelter, every dollar of that annual income is completely tax-free. Over that 25-year retirement window, a $108,000 initial investment yields a total extraction of $1.3 million. Alongside that cash accumulation, the policy maintains a $400,000 life insurance shield. Through living benefits clauses, Jordan can access that $400,000 early to cover costs if he is diagnosed with cancer, suffers a heart attack, or experiences a stroke. By insulating capital from both market crashes and future tax hikes, a steady, working-class contribution matures into multi-generational wealth. The default path leaves capital exposed to market fragility and future tax burdens. The 7702 architecture provides a shielded, liquid environment with a mathematical floor of zero loss. Financial security relies on structural design. By correctly staging the tax burden at the very beginning of the timeline, the investor ensures that when the harvest finally arrives, they keep every single orange.